Here we go. Yin Yoga for stimulating the gallbladder. I'm gonna start pretty simply. Let's move all the fancier props out of the way. And you're just gonna come to a place with a blanket folded relatively flat. That's the one thing I'm gonna ask that you be mindful of, is that most of us spend so much of our day with the head forward, looking down, texting, or hunching over your keyboard. We really want to start to reset the head back into more of a neutral place, which we learned last week in Pilates. So also when you come to your yin practice, don't pile that pillow up so high. All right, lying flat is going to be our first shape. And so the blanket lies just underneath the head. The shoulder blades are flat on your mat. And you can let the legs flop out. You can let the arms flop out. Close your eyes or cover your eyes. And focus in on the quality of the breath. The texture of your breath. Notice if you're breathing from your chest. Notice if you're breathing from your ribs or all the way down into the belly. And just breathe a little fuller, a little slower. Start to set the pace at a slower cadence. Give yourself permission to slow things down, to become present inside your body instead of focused on something that is calling your attention away from what's inside your body. Take a big breath in through the nose and let's open the mouth to exhale, clearing out anything that came before this moment. Breathe in again through the nose. Exhale, let go of anyone else's energy that you came in contact with today. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Letting go of anyone's energy that you spoke to on the phone that you disagreed with. Sending it back, returning it to them. And then place your hands on your body. One hand over your heart, one hand over your womb. Breathing from the womb to the heart. And then calling all of your own energy back inward. Anything that you've shared. Any times that you felt like you got triggered today or pulled out of center, calling that back in now. Letting it land right between the womb and the heart. Allow the body to relax and soften more with each breath. Breathing in any way that feels good, through the nose or through the mouth. Just taking those full body breaths, as low as you can to the belly, to the womb and up. inviting that voice of wisdom, of unconditional love and acceptance, calling that voice forward, turning up the volume to your intuition, your inner wise one, the part of you that just knows what's right. Calling her here, calling her in. And take a big deep breath in, as deeply as you can to your body. Hold the breath for a moment. See if you can breathe in a little bit more. And then open your mouth, open your arms, open your body. Exhale. Bring some awareness to your feet. Wiggle the toes, circle the ankles. Just bring movement in. Maybe rock the head side to side. You can start to extend the fingertips, the arms overhead. Draw the legs close together and just take a big full body stretch, pointing the toes again. Breathe in as deep as you can. Hold the breath. Exhale, open the mouth. Soften the body. Give the legs a little shake, the hips a little jiggle. Start to slide your legs over towards the left side of your mat. Like your body is starting to take the shape of a banana or a half moon shape. And slowly slide your arms over towards the left side as well. And you might even cross your right ankle over that left foot, pressing against that fourth toe. You might keep the arms straight. You might interlace the fingers. You might bend the elbows and grab hold of opposite arms. Feel the sensation in the side of your body as you breathe deeply into the right side of the ribs. And in Yin, we just want to come into a pose and just taste the pose. Because we're here for a while, it's a gradual opening. And just like spring is a gradual opening, you know? We're still stuck in winter. We're doing that dance between cold, windy, bone-chilling days, and then that bit of warmth, that sun, that surprise that lets you know something is moving beneath the earth, something is happening. And so we listen to the body, we wait for the body to tell the story. Okay, something is happening. I'm starting to feel stimulation, starting to feel certain parts open, expand after that long pause. And so there's no rush here. There's just an enjoyment of being in your body, of being in your breath. And in connecting to the inner knowing and to the intuition, take a moment here. Ask inward, what do you need from this practice right now? And even better, what do I need from this practice right now? What is your intention in this moment through this practice? Listen in. See what your body wants to share with you now. Maybe it's cultivating that deep listening, that trust. Maybe it's a sense of peace, of ease, of pause. whatever it is, just checking in, asking what it is that you need and how this practice can benefit you most. After a few moments of just pausing in that shape, is there a deepening that can happen here? Can you lean a little further into the left side? And if your body feels content with this much opening, stay here, stay with the breath. And if it feels like this discomfort is starting to border on pain, especially if the low back is feeling any sensation that's not good. The body knows what's not good. The body knows when it's too much. And so if you're feeling that, you might bend your right knee and place the right foot to the ground. Or even crossing the right foot over the left with the knee bent instead. Just bending the knee is key to lessening the intensity through this shape. Using your breath to press out into the edges of the lungs, of the ribs, that space that separates the ribs from one another. Breathing wide just below the armpit and creating this big opening through the sides of the body. Again, deepening the shape if and only if that feels comfortable in your body. This practice shouldn't create any pain. We really want this to be a place where the body can restore, can recharge, can feel happy. And a few more big deep breaths here. And you can begin to slide to the center, where your arms and legs are as wide as the mat, the shape of a starfish. You can spread the fingers and spread the toes. Breathe in again, nice and deep, full breath, hold. Exhale, let it go, shake out the body. Wiggle the hips. Move through the feet, through the arms, through the hands. And when the time feels ready, you can start to slide the legs and the upper body towards the right side of the mat, where we open the left side up. Again, crossing the the ankle, stimulating that toe if it feels good. And so I just kind of hook my big toe in between the baby toe and that fourth toe. But if crossing at the ankle doesn't feel good, don't worry about it. This is all about taking what you need and leaving the rest behind. Big deep breaths, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders, softening where you can in your body, softening as much as you can into your body. Each breath a little deeper, a little fuller, breathing through the nose or breathing through the mouth. And if there's any thoughts coming to the surface, just acknowledge what's there. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, let it go. Blow it away. Deepen the shape if that feels good, or stay as you are. Bending that left knee and placing the left foot down instead. Listen to your body. And also be mindful that every time you come to this practice, your body will feel different and it may want something different. So keep checking in and asking, does this feel good? Is this the best for you right now? And if not, how can I give you the best right now? If you're tempted to open the eyes, cover the eyes. If you don't have an eye pillow or a mask, you can just throw a scarf over your eyes or put a hat on your head and pull it down over your eyes. Looking out sometimes gets the active mind going, because when the eyes are open, the mind is taking in so much information and processing it in such a fast way. So we're just starting to rewrite some of this patterning by taking a certain sense away and sending the energy and attention down into a different place. Looking in, listening in, hearing what's coming from within. Let that be a part of the practice for you. And a few more big breaths here. Big deep breath at the top. Just hold the breath. Breathe in a little bit more and pause. And again, a little bit more and pause. And when you're ready for that exhale, soften the body, melt back into that starfish shape. Spread your fingers, spread your toes, reach. Breathe in again as much as you can. Deep, deep, all the way in. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Exhale through the mouth, shake out the body. Slide the soles of the feet to the earth one at a time. And just give the legs a little windshield wipe side to side. Good, and come back through the center, just knees bent, feet planted. Take a big breath in. Exhale through the mouth. And then we'll hug the knees in towards the chest one at a time. Maybe a little rock across the low back here. Some of these shapes are more like the connector between what's here now and what's to come. And so we don't hold these shapes as long. Circle the knees to the right a few times, giving that low back some love. And then you can circle the knees in the opposite direction as well. Maybe rocking forward and back feels good, and if it does, you can rock yourself up to sitting, and if not, you can just slowly roll off to one side and then lift yourself up. And we're only coming up for a second to grab one of those bolsters, those pillows. And we'll slide that pillow just underneath the thighs. Roll back down, bend the knees, and bring the feet now onto the pillow. What I love about Yin is it really can honor that like desire to be kind of lazy, right? Let's cross the left leg over the right into a figure 4 stretch. And if your leg is like very close to your chest when you come up into this shape, just bring your left hand onto the knee and gently push it away. And again, we're just tasting the pose before we take a big bite of it. And so it's okay if you don't feel a ton of sensation here. You can also bring a bit of movement in, and so just sort of letting the knee come towards you and push it away from you a few times, allowing the thigh bone to explore movement within the pelvis.
something I didn't mention before, but it's coming up in my body here, so I'm going to speak to it. If the head and neck, if you've had any shoulder injuries in your life, if you've had whiplash, sometimes you feel like you need a bit more support. And I did recommend that you not, bring the head up into that position where there's a lot of flexion forward. And so what you would do with this flat blanket underneath is grab the bottom edges and you're going to fold them under and in towards your head. And so there's this cradling sensation that starts to happen for the neck. Hopefully that feels good for you too. And if legs are starting to feel that place where, you know what, I want some more sensation here, you can lift that right foot up, slide the hands behind the right leg, right hand around the outside of the right thigh, and the left arm goes through the legs and behind through the inside of the right thigh. I'm feeling a lot more intensity in this variation of the shape. And just stay with the breath. If at any point you feel like this is too much, you can bring that right foot back down to the earth. Or you can lift that right leg up into the air. Up to you. Nice big breaths here, through the nose or through the mouth. Just breathing in as much as you'd like and releasing as much breath as you'd like. Again, maybe a little bit of movement, either bending that right knee or straightening the right leg. Maybe changing the placement of the hands feels better here. Maybe bringing the left hand to the left knee instead and gently pulling the legs towards the body. If you want to stay in this, if you want to stay in this shape a little longer, then feel free to. If you feel like you're ready to change it up, you can bend that right knee again, bring the right foot back onto the bolster. Now slowly tip the legs towards the left side. not going to hold this shape quite as long. You can reach the arms out wide, or you can cactus the arms where the elbows are bent and the fingertips point back towards your head. And just about 5 big slow breaths here. To come out of the shape, let's cultivate a bit of yang energy, that more fiery, structured energy that I spoke about earlier. What you can do is anchor your elbows firmly down into the earth. Take an exhale and kind of squeeze the belly. Press especially down into that left elbow and use your abs to tighten and drag the legs back to center. We're going to tip the legs now. Same position, still that figure 4, but over to the right side. Resting your right leg onto the bolster, so the shin or the side of the calf is sort of supported. Reach down with your right hand, grab hold of your left ankle, and just pull it slightly away from the right thigh. So you're separating that figure 4, opening it up a little bit. You're going to feel some big sensation through the left hip. And again, we won't hold this for too long, but let's hold it for about a minute. Slowly, gently release. Take your time, dragging the left foot back, knee bent, foot to the bolster, and then lift that right leg back up. Let's slide both legs down the mat straight. Reach the arms back again. Take a big stretch here. Inhale as much as you'd like. Hold the breath. And exhale, just soften, release all that tension. And we'll bend the knees again, bring the feet to the bolster, and when you're ready to, crossing the right ankle to the left side this time. Maybe gently pushing the knee away or allowing the leg to move forward and back. And settle into that figure 4 in the next few breaths. Again, when you're ready to, interlacing the hands behind that left thigh. And also noticing from one side of your body to the other, how things feel, where you start to notice more tension resides. This practice is really about deepening that intimacy, getting to know yourself better, getting to hear the inner voice and to trust that is your truth. breath from the heart to the belly. Maybe extending the left leg to the sky if that feels good. Or keeping that left knee bent. Repositioning the hands if you'd like. Staying here longer if you like, or slowly coming out of the shape, allowing that left foot to land back on the bolster. And we'll tip the legs over towards the right side first for a few breaths. Cactus the arms or wide arms. With an exhale again, press down through the arms, squeeze the belly, find that yang, fiery energy, and slowly drag the legs to the center, tip them all the way over to the left side. And when you get here, you can slide that right heel away from the left thigh. The sensation is of allowing the right hip to just kind of roll back. But it doesn't actually roll back, because you're holding that foot. Breathing deep here. And tuning into that sensation around the right hip. Softening your body, coming back into the breath. more breaths here. You can reconnect that right heel to the left thigh. Press down through the arms. Exhale, use the abs to drive the legs back in. Let's take the legs up into the air here. Just give them a good shake. Now the next pose is called shoelace pose, and I'm going to take you through a few variations of it. I love it lying down. It feels the best in my body this way. Let's start by crossing the left knee over the right knee and squeezing those inner thighs together. From here you can bend the knees and allow the heels to drop down towards your hips, holding onto the feet and pulling them close to your body. The legs stay quite tight towards each other. This is reclining shoelace. This pose can also be done sitting. And what that would look like sitting is keeping the right leg straight, cross the left leg over the right, where you kind of stack the knees, and pull that left heel over towards the right hip. You can lean forward here, that might be enough for you. Or you can slide that right foot back, so both knees are bent and stacked. And again, that same pulling of the feet towards the opposite hip. You can also do this with your legs over a couch instead. And so what that would look like is throwing those legs up over the couch. Same thing, you'll cross the left over the right, and you'll just hang out here with your left leg crossed and your right heel kind of pointing downward. Whichever position is most comfortable, take that one. And if you're able to, you can cross both legs and have the legs, the right leg just pushing up against the couch. You don't even need to hold onto the feet here. This is a really nice variation of the shape. Big deep breaths. Breathing through the nose or through the mouth. Taking in as much breath as you'd like and releasing as much breath as you'd like. Now there are some yin poses that do feel a bit more torturous than relaxing. And what's interesting about yin is that it can push anger up to the surface. And something about the gallbladder and the liver, which again we'll talk more about next week, is that these are organs that are associated with the emotion of anger, frustration. And so if you do feel any of that coming up through a yin practice, and especially in this one, know that it's coming out to be released, to be expressed, and that it's absolutely natural. Just because we think we're gonna feel, peaceful and harmonious in our yoga practice doesn't mean that's the reality of it. The thing about emotions is when we don't feel them in the moment, they do get stuck somewhere in the body, and when we're in the body, sometimes they want to become unstuck in that place where we are trying to create a peaceful and safe space. When we are practicing the ability to listen in and to look in and to see what's there, what's hiding beneath the surface. And so just inviting up anything that it is that you're really tuning into now. deep breaths, softening and releasing the body on the exhale. When you're ready to, nice and slowly releasing those feet, starting to slide the legs straight up into the air. You can give them a shake when you're up there, or you can just allow the legs to come out nice and wide as a counter pose. You can hold the outsides of the legs if you want that extra support here, and we'll just hold it for about a minute. All these transition poses, just about a minute in them. It's nice to move the feet around here, circle the ankles, wiggle the toes, spread the toes. We can draw the legs back together again. This time right knee comes on top of the left. Squeeze the thighs together and then bend the knees. Allow the heels to come downwards. You might be sitting for this. You might have the legs up against a wall or up against the couch. And settle back into the sweet spot where there's some sensation, but there's lots of breath surrounding it. breath a little bit more. And a few more big breaths here. And when you're ready to come out of the shape, slow, slow, slow. And back into that transition of the splits, legs wide. Shaking out the legs, giving it a little jiggle, a little bounce. You can bend the knees, bring the feet in towards each other, taking the shape of a flying butterfly pose. Reach through the legs, hold on to the shins or the feet, the knees, whatever's accessible to you. And again, we'll hold this shape just for about a minute. Or you could also bring the legs back down on top of the bolster, on top of the earth. The only thing I'm going to ask is if you're very flexible and you have any back pain, to not bring your legs down to the floor, but to have something underneath the thighs, whether it's a bolster or even one block under each thigh. When you're ready to, you can start to straighten out the legs, down the mat again. So the thighs are resting over top of that bolster. Arms wherever they're comfortable, on your body, off your body. This is our final shape for today's practice. The integration shape, Shavasana. Place where the body gets to rest and just revel in that practice and holding the shapes and supporting the body, the gallbladder, the movement, the opening. In these last few moments of the practice, tuning back into the body and just ask, how do you feel? And also taking a moment to thank yourself. Leave that volume of the higher self up. Tell your higher self you're listening and you're ready to learn from it. And every time you feel that little quiet voice of love and compassion trying to tell you something, thank it. Really honor that little voice and the courage that it takes to trust and listen in. It's such a gift. And feel free to stay in this shape as long as you need. Just honoring your body and your body's desire to rest and to just continue to luxuriate in the slow stillness of this beautiful practice. May you feel healthy, may you feel happy. May you know the wisdom of that wise voice deep within you, and may you trust her every step along your journey. With love and blessings, Namaste.